Good morning. It's Monday and I'm Nancy Joy. Excuse me. Today's quote, shame on you, I call it. It's about the emotion of shame. This comes up frequently, of course, and over the years, Ezekiel's shared with me the value of all emotions and shared with me the value of shame. Shame's kind of a tricky emotion. It's not so obvious like anger or guilt or happiness or jealousy or things like that. It's sort of hidden, and the reason it's hidden, it's because it's where we hide the emotional self that cannot make sense of an experience we've had. It can be, a lot of times it's sexually related, behaviorally related, and we hear that when we're young. I mean, that I see that finger pointing at me. Shame on you, Nancy. So as I became involved so much in the emotions and worked with Ezekiel, and I would see in my past that finger pointing at me, and I thought, well, what does that really mean? Well, it's someone is trying to use that emotion of shame to confuse you, to diminish you, and to control you, because actually you're not quite sure what it is they're talking about. And that's because shame is the emotion where you hide any experience that you cannot make sense of in your emotional body and in your mental body. For example, we were discussing this years ago on one of my first Peru trips, and there was a woman there from Australia who was a gay woman. And as we discussed shame, she said, "Oh my gosh, it makes so much sense to me now to realize that that's where you hide what makes no sense to you, what you don't understand but hurts so badly." And she shared a story that she's very athletic, and she was on the swim team as a young girl. And once when she got out of the pool, she heard some people in the stands, and one of them said, "Look at that girl that just got out of the pool," or "Look at that kid who just got out of the pool. Is that a boy or a girl?" Well, ouch, and those words stuck with her and gave her shame for being in a pool, for being in a swimsuit. She suddenly became very self-conscious, and it's because that made no sense to her. That was a hurtful thing that made no sense to her. A lot of abuse victims of sexual abuse or harassment hide that in shame, and it is that shame which keeps you from coming forward, from clearing, from healing those experiences. So for this Monday morning, now that you have a deeper understanding that file drawer is where you've hidden a lot of stuff you don't understand, so when you feel the emotion of shame, know that God Creator gave you that emotion because that's where you need to go. You need to pull out that file drawer, explore that incident, that experience that created that shame, and find the value of it, because you wouldn't have drawn it to you if it didn't have a value to you as a soul. And in this way you can shift shame, shifting shame. Ezekiel also says, interesting, that shame is the she, I am emotion. And what he meant by that is it is a feminine emotion. If you can have male and feminine emotions, it's an emotion that affects the feminine being of you, and men and women are both have male and female, so it has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with that is the emotional aspect which most affects the feminine frequency or female inside of you. So that's something to think about, isn't it, on this Monday morning? So let's pull out those file drawers, or at least one or two of them right now or this week. Take a look at something we've hidden away in shame, and let's transform it. Let's transform it into understanding and love and consciousness. So, lots is happening right now in the shift, isn't it? So many things coming up for us. So, hope you find this helpful, and we'll see you again this next Monday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.